Well, want to welcome everybody back. We have just finished up our unboxing, our gameplay through of Dice Throne, and now we're going to do our review. So, Christy, what are your thoughts on Dice Throne so far?
I really enjoyed it. I have only played the Moon Elf, and I've only played it 3 times. All 3 times I managed to destroy Anthony, so that's been awesome. But I haven't had the opportunity to play any of the other characters. So the play is, I find, pretty simple. Cards are easy to understand. The rolling your dice and figuring out what you can do with your dice, I think, is pretty simple. But like I said, I would like to try other characters and see if I can still continue to destroy Anthony.
That's what it's all about, is destroying me. And yes, she's definitely destroyed me each time. And in fact, there was our very first game. I had high hopes. I had her down to 9 health, and I was clear up to like 25, 28, and she ended up beating me and staying at 9 health the rest of the game. So, but other than that, I have enjoyed playing the game as well. I've had a chance to play the Barbarian against Christy a few times. We pulled our kids into it thinking that it might be a fun, easy game for them to pick up and learn. They've also enjoyed it and have focused in on the gameplay. And we've tried some different things. So, there's 6 characters in here to start things off with. And I've played the Paladin, the Pyromancer. Blake played against me. But I played, trying to think of the other one. And Sean played the Monk while I played the Thief. The Thief is who I played. And the Thief and the Paladin are considered the most complex in Season 1. And as I played them, I agree completely. They definitely have a different complexity to them. They're rough in the sense of how they handle. But I ended up winning both of those games. But the techniques that they utilize are very, very different. And so it made for definitely an interesting game, a couple of games, as well as gameplay, especially comparing against the Barbarian, which I've played against Christy now 3 times, but just twice before, and then moving on to these other 2. I've enjoyed that difference, and honestly, I look forward to some of the Season 2 expansions with it. So I think those are going to be quite a bit of fun. Now, I agree, like the tokens and the cards and the different boards and things like that. I love that they've made these unique to each character. I think that has been fun, and I think the gameplay, the mechanics, like you mentioned, are easy. They're not easy in the sense of childish or whatever, but they're quick to learn and pick up, and you don't have to struggle and try figuring out how this game works and how to be able to move forward with it. It's a quick pickup, and I think that's what makes it a lot of fun for me too.
Yeah, I really like the artwork as well. It's mostly just the characters. The cards, the one side has the character. I don't know how well you can see this, but the other side there's just the writing and then the color of the card. So there's not a ton of artwork on the cards or anything, but the artwork on the board and on the... So here's the one side of the character's board, and on the back it has your character. So I think they've done a really good job with that. I like the mechanisms that they use to count points and your health and your combat points. Yeah, I think they did a really good job putting it together.
And they gave you more than enough on the tokens as well for your status effects. Each character, I mean, there's a few status effects that are shared between characters, but there's enough for sure to play all 6 characters in one match and probably still have a few extra left over. So there's definitely enough of those status effects that if you happen to have kids and you lose 1 or 2 of those, that or you are just not the most careful individual on certain things, that there's going to be some that are left over for other events and things that are happening. So I think that's good. As well as, we talked about the ease of play and the coloring. We mentioned the different colors in here, identifying instants or things that you're rolling for or main phase cards, upgrades and things like that. They've really tried to make things easy on how things are played through and how you do things. So I think for us, we're again just starting in on doing this reviewing and sharing our thoughts and feelings on these different games, but this one's definitely one that we would recommend going out and getting and playing, especially if you just like fun, quick games. You want to get together with a couple of friends, and the game itself, if you can just get in and play it, it says that it's between 20 and 40 minutes on gameplay, and I think I agree with that. Both of our games, the games that we've played have all taken a little bit longer, but we've been doing the learning steps and trying to check the rules or teaching our younger kids how to play. But I think just sit down, play it for fun. You're definitely going to be 20 to 40 minutes, and it's going to go pretty quick. So
now, one thing that we haven't done is we haven't played more than 2 players. So we've always done just 1 player versus 1 player. You can do 2 players versus 2 players, or you can do up to 6 players free for all. And we haven't experimented with those or seen how those work yet. But definitely as a 1 versus 1, we've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it is recommended that you do 1 versus 1 with this game. But yeah, I mean, they have definitely set up some different mechanics in the rule book to play the 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, and the free for all. So definitely want to check those out if you want to get into some different kinds of gaming with it once you kind of get your feel on the game. Also, it's really, I think the mechanics, as we've discussed, the mechanics are a lot of fun. I like how the dice are different for each character, and they're not just the same pattern either. I mentioned that in the playthrough. The Moon Elf and the Barbarian happen to be the same pattern for how the dice symbols are for their abilities, but with like the Paladin and the Thief, they change those up a little bit so that they're not just the same. And I haven't been, I haven't looked at the Pyromancer or the Monk to see what theirs are like, if they change those up a little bit, but they have done some of those things, so that helps out. But at the end of the day, like we said, we like the game. We recommend it for anybody that's out there that wants to play and just have some fun and play a good, quick game. So right now we'll give it 2 thumbs up. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching.